always sound good. I invite you to come on in and take your seats. We're going to be beginning here in just a moment. I have a few announcements for you this morning, some invitations to all of our wonderful events that we have going on here at Seaside. But before I begin, I want to just take a moment to introduce the practitioner who will be holding the light for us today, Practitioner Sharon Powell. Thank you, Sharon. Sharon's been a practitioner here at Seaside for many years. And I just want to let you know that our practitioners are always available for prayer for you. It is our joy and our honor to pray with you, to pray for you. Practitioner always sits in the back and holds the high watch for us during service. That's our prayer center back there. You can write a written prayer request and put it in the prayer request chest there or in the foyer on the side. We also have a prayer chapel out on the side where our practitioners will be after service, and they're here to give you complimentary prayers. So please come and be part of that. We have a few things going on. Today, a big day for us is we're gearing up for New Member Sunday. So if it's a time that you're feeling called to join the Seaside family, please see Trudy in the back room at the table, at the membership table. She's waving back there by the door. It's a chance to sign up. You fill out your application, and then on April the 6th, we have a new member class. On April the 13th, we celebrate you. So please come and be part of our Seaside family. Also, Richard is in the back where the balloon is. He is selling the tickets for the Real Love Seminar that is coming up. Many of you are involved in our Real Love Circles that have been ongoing. Well, Greg Baer, the writer of the Real Love book and the founder of that movement, is going to be here for a weekend event on April 25th, 26th. So come and purchase tickets and be part of that. It's Friday night, Saturday, and a bit on Sunday as well. Richard's in the back, and he can answer any questions for you. On March the 29th, we have an event here. It's called Channeling George Harrison. Musician David Young will be here to tell his story. It's a 3-hour event with music and speaking and some experientials. And we have a video clip for you. We do.
In the past 3 years, George Harrison of the Beatles has been contacting and appearing in David Young's life, a Grammy-nominated songwriter-musician, to be one of the conduits for his music and message for humanity. David had produced 55 CD albums and sold 1 million copies of his flute and guitar music. Your miracles always David was clueless as to why he has these ever-increasing experiences with George, many of which are chronicled in his recently released book, Channeling Harrison, Book 1.
I said, how in the world is the music supposed to go for these words? And at that exact moment when that sentence finished, the Spirit appeared in my room and played guitar for me, and I heard it completely clear.
David will entertain and inspire you. Come join David for an extraordinary experience that will fill you with joy. Make your reservations now, and you'll never be the same.
Yes. So that's happening here at Seaside. David Hackett has tickets on sale today. He's back in the family room as well. And today, tickets are a little less than they are at the door, so you want to come and get your ticket today. We have a workshop this afternoon. Dr. Nandini Katir, I don't see Nandini, but she has a workshop today from 1 to 3. It's in the Quimby room, which was down the hall here. It is an introduction to science and sacred space. It's our last winter class, our last winter workshop, 1 to 3 today. We invite you to have lunch at Cafe on Lake. Sharon and David are here with kind of a spring meal of hot dogs and chili, I think she said, and some other things. So please be part of that. And Nadine is offering her class free of charge. It's normally a $25 workshop. She's offering it as a love offering. She wants everybody to come and witness this introduction. It's not a science class. You don't need to be science experts to be there. It's about matter and energy and spirit. So she wants to introduce that to you, and she'll be having a more in-depth class later on. Friday night, our couples are having a potluck and game night, so come and be part of that if you are wanting to join some other couples in fellowship. Saturday morning, our men are meeting for their monthly breakfast club, so if you're a gentleman and you want to come and be part of the Seaside family, come and have breakfast with the guys. 10 a.m. on Saturday morning, I'll be facilitating a workshop, Art as Spiritual Practice. It's part of our women's ministry, Conscious Creativity. Part of our global heart vision for Centers for Spiritual Living is we see a world which has renewed its emphasis on beauty, nature, and love through the resurgence of creativity, art, and aesthetics. And that is part of something that's really a passion of mine and part of my ministry as I step forward. So I invite all you women to come out and play with me on Saturday morning in a creative, artistic way. You don't need to bring anything, just show up, and we'll have all the supplies for you. So that's from 10 to 12 on Saturday morning. We have lots of ministries here at Seaside, if you haven't gathered that yet. And a few of our ministries are needing some help. We have our Earth Ministry, which is inside Seaside. You can read about that. We have our Flower Ministry. We have a new wellness ministry that's getting ready to kick off. They're going to be having a gathering to launch that ministry, so you can look about the information in there. Also, Thursday morning, we have a folding ministry, which that ministry folds our programs and gets them ready for Sunday mornings. We're needing some people to be part of that ministry, so if you're wanting to step forward in that capacity, come and join Bella's here and some of the others that show up every Thursday to do the folding. See Dr. Christian or Joanne Millicent for more information about that. And last but not least, it's time for our spring drum circle, and we have a lovely drum circle that meets here again. It's next Sunday after service. Cafe on Lake will be open once again, so you can eat and stay. And Marv, do you have a clip for us? See some of our drummers. That's Christina Stevens. She facilitates the workshop, and so please come. It's a full, fun time, and we get lots of participants. You don't need a drum. You just show up. So please, with that sense of fun and joy and happiness, please stand and greet your neighbor, and please remain standing for the congregational song.
Please remain standing. It's time for our congregational song this morning. We're going to sing the happy song. Right. Yeah, we are. We're going to let Fran sing the verses for us. Marv's got the words up there for the chorus. We can all join in and clap.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here. You can take a break.
Yes, it is.
I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air like I don't care, baby, by the way.
Here we go now.
Because I'm happy, come along. You feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy, come along. If you feel like happiness is the truth.
Because I'm happy.
Come along. If you because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof, because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth, because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you, because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you wanna do.
Right. Woo. You guys sound good. Nice job, Reverend Fran, with that one. She went first. We got to do this happy song, and Farrell has nothing on Seaside. That's it. Woo. That probably should have won the Oscar for the best song of the year. Hey, good morning, Seaside. Hey, what a joy it is to be with you on this fabulous summer day in the spring. Actually, it's still winter here. Encinitas style for sure. That's we do our things our own way, the happy way for sure. Hey, I want to welcome anybody who may be here for the first time. It is our joy that you've chosen to spend a Sunday with us. For Seaside is a spiritual nexus, inspiring people to live their dreams, to live their divinity. It is a home, a spiritual community where we care about one another, we practice kindness, we leave judgment outside, and truly it is a blessed community where we are here to support each other on our path and our healing and just the recognition of the divine presence in our life. And so we put Spirit first always in everything we do around here. And so to take us to a deeper level this morning is a powerful spiritual practitioner, one of the pillars of Seaside, that is Carolyn Holder.
So please join with me as we turn within for a few moments in the stillness. And how absolutely beautiful it is to embrace the warmth and the loving spirit of the divine that is expressing in each and every moment, recognizing that God is the all in all, recognizing the fullness and expression of spirit, that supreme consciousness, that absolute intelligence that is in back of, through, and as all of life. And knowing that God is the perfection, God is the wholeness, God is the unity of all that is. And knowing that God is that divine essence, the source and supply of all of life, and is the very fabric of this beautiful and heart-filled Sunday celebration. As we come together, feeling that sense of oneness, the bonds of community, being of like mind and spirit. And I know that each of us have our hearts wide open to the beautiful experience of today, listening to the loving words of Reverend Tammy and the heartfelt message of Dr. Christian. For this is absolutely a blessed time, a time of deepening, a time of expansion, a time of revealing the truth, a time of healing, and a time of transformation. So for all the beauty, for all the joy, and for all the goodness that is expressing today, here, right now, in this wonderful sanctuary, I am so grateful, and I know that we go forth this day dancing in the unconditional love of Spirit. And so it is. Amen.
In this very room, there's quite enough love for all of us. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all of us. There's quite enough peace and quite enough power to set our lives in tune. In spirit, as spirit, is in this very room. And in this very room, there's quite enough peace for all the world. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all the world. There's quite enough power, quite enough love to set our lives in tune with spirit, spirit, as spirit, through spirit. As spirit is in this very room, is in this very room, is in this very room.
Thank you, Reverend Fran. Beautiful. Thank you. Good morning. I'm Reverend Tammy Mars. It's my joy to welcome you here today, as Reverend Christian said, on this gorgeous day. It is absolutely beautiful outside. We can count our blessings. We live in a beautiful place. And so I just want to acknowledge you for being here. I want to invite you to just sit back and relax. For you have entered, just as the song said, a very sacred place. And in that place, heaven is. In that place, anything that could be up in your life or in your life has the ability to dissolve and to move away into the nothingness. For that one power and presence that is so strong fills this room, this consciousness, and all that unfolds here. And because of that, we walk away more blessed. So I'm glad that you're here, and go out and invite you to go out and share it with the world in a very generous way. So thank you for being here. And if you're new, as Reverend Christian said, I just want to welcome you. Thank you for spending this day with us and sharing your love and your light and adding to that in this coming together. We have a welcome table that has a packet for you. And in that is some different gifts, just to say thank you for being here. Some information about who we are and how you can activate or utilize this teaching greater in your life. I also want to make you aware that there's a class that's called the Basic Beliefs class. It's the first Sunday of every month. It's after second service in the Emerson room, which is right off the entrance. And it's just that. It's an hour. It's informal. You get a complete packet as to how you can apply this powerful teaching to your life so that you can be living the life that you choose, so that the good is flowing through you in a more powerful way. So I invite you to be part of that too. So Welcome. Thank you to all of you. At Seaside, you know, we honor all expressions, and we know that, I love the saying that if you're not in awe, you're not paying attention. And along with that line, we have a wonderful lady that I'd like to introduce to you. Her name is Carolyn Janes, who's written a book about reminding us to keep our eyes open because it's everywhere present. I'd like to invite her forward now at this time. Give her a warm welcome.
Good morning, everyone. I want to thank Reverend Christian for your very positive review of my book. It's called Sprinkles from Heaven, and it's stories of serendipity and miracles. I'm going to read a very short story for you. After working hard to learn all the new song lyrics for a San Diego R&B band I had just joined, I was feeling discouraged as a new singer. I had just moved to the West Coast alone, and I missed my family and longtime friends in Minnesota. I was afraid my singing career was just a naive, silly dream, and I desperately needed some guidance. I was taking a leisurely walk along the Pacific Beach Boardwalk when I thought, am I on the right path? Am I supposed to be in California pursuing a singing career? Please, God, give me a sign and let me know if I'm doing the right thing. I asked God this question and then became aware of a jogger running past me. He wore a white t-shirt that had a Route 66 logo imprinted on the back. I began to cry in recognition of this personal symbol. It was one of the band songs I was just rehearsing in my headphones. The lyrics also marked the highway city points all the way from the Midwest to California. It was the route I had taken to get to San Diego. I received the perfect answer with that sign addressing both of my burning questions in one fleeting glimpse. I went back to my diligent practice, now content I was on the right track. And as some of you may know, I did end up singing professionally, and I've now done 700 shows at hundreds of senior centers, as well as being able to fill in for the lovely Reverend Fran, who was so gracious to let me substitute for her when she was out on leave. I have many more testimonies to my transformation from practicing our Science of Mind principles, as I bet you do too. And I was once sitting right there in your seat, looking up here and going, I wish I could sing on that stage someday. And here I am. So I will be in the back to sign books, and please put your name in the drawing for a free book. I'm going to do a drawing at 12:30. Thank you so much.
God is good and everywhere present. So it's with that and with our hearts that are open, I just want to invite you to turn within with me right now and move into the light. Feel how great that feels. We close our eyes to this outside world and that which has already made its manifestation, and we move within into that inner sanctuary, into the light, that realm of infinite possibilities, that realm where that higher power, that God, life force energy, that love is. Knowing that in that place it is absolutely delicious, filled with new infinite possibilities. And so I recognize that one power, that one presence. One power, not two powers of good and evil, but one power which is good, which is God, which is flowing, which is more powerful than anything on this planet. For it moves in, through, and as each and every one of us. In fact, it is the activity of life. It is the vibration of life that inhabits every single one of our cells on this physical plane. It is that activity of life that radiates through the thoughts and the feelings that we experience. It is that activity of life that shows up in the miracles and the serendipities that are everywhere present. It is that activity of life that moves all things. Recognizing and knowing that I cannot be separate from it, for I am it, I let go and let God. For I know that infinite wisdom has flowed for millions and for infinity. With its wisdom of perfect right action. Knowing that I am part of that, I let go. I let God. I trust, I surrender, and I watch with eyes of awe as I allow my life to be that place where that good unfolds in many blessings. And so it's with that that I just say thank you, Mother, Father, God, for this good. Thank you for this life that I am living. Thank you for this awareness, and thank you for the opportunities and the places where I get to remember the truth. So I just release this word into that infinite yes as I watch with excitement the perfect unfoldment. And so it is. Amen.
Good morning. How are you? Hey, did you like the Fly Girls this morning with Carl doing it? Weren't they lovely from the choir? We've nicknamed them the Seaside Choir Girls, Fly Girls. They're just great. They're just, you know, we had a last minute cancel leave, but I'll tell you what, you were just perfect. Thank you so much for doing that for us, okay? And I thought I would wear my green glasses because isn't tomorrow St. Patty's Day? Of course, I can't see out there at all, so anyway, I would like to introduce our guest artist, Allison Adams Tucker. It's her first time here, although I believe she should have been here a long time ago because she lives in Leucadia. So, San Diego native and local Leucadian, Allison Adams Tucker is a multilingual jazz vocalist who has been singing before she could speak. Her love for languages also began at a young age, and she has studied and sings in 6 languages. There's a test later. Allison has entertained audiences in Japan, Europe, Mexico, and the U.S. in her second album, April in Paris, which was recorded in Paris on International Jazz Day, is scheduled for release on June 3. She has CDs for sale today, you guys. Allison's music reflects her passion for world cultures with jazz-infused music from around the world. Would you give her a first-time Seaside awesome welcome for Miss Allison Adams Tucker?
Thank you, friend. Good morning, everyone. So very happy to be here with you on this beautiful day and to share some music. Love to sing a song, a Brazilian bossa nova, and it is a story of Brazilian Carnival, a week of celebration where people come together dancing and celebrating life together regardless of where they come from. It's entitled E Com Esse Que Eu Vou, which means, and with this I go. And quite literally, with these 2 feet, I go into the Carnival and I will share with people who are poor, people who are rich, with the tambourine, with my heart open and with a voice. E com esse que eu vou. Com esse que eu vou sambar até cair no chão. E com esse que eu vou desabafar na multidão. Se ninguém se animar, eu vou quebrar meu tamborim. Mas se a turma gostar, vai ser pra mim. E com esse que eu vou sambar até cair no chão. E com esse eu vou desabafar na multidão. Se ninguém se animar, eu vou quebrar meu tamborim. Mas se a turma gostar, vai ser pra mim. Quero ver o ronca-ronca da cuíca. Gente pobre, gente rica, deputado, senador. Mas quebra, quebra, que eu quero ver uma cabrocha boa no piano da patroa batucando. E com esse que eu vou. Mas quebra, quebra, e eu quero ver uma cabrocha boa no piano na multidão, e que só desabafar na multidão, na coração.
And that is Allison Adams Tucker. About time you made it to the stage here at Seaside. Japan, Europe, and Seaside. They kind of all go together. All right, well, thank you very much. Beautiful voice. Oh my, I love that jazz. So let's see. This morning it's about the beautiful duet. And wouldn't it be wonderful to be in a relationship where there was this mutual, selfless giving, caring only about the other person's happiness and none for yourself? If both had that mutual sense, it sounds idyllic, ideal, perfect, and ah. And Greg Bear, who's coming to Seaside next month, points out that, you know what? That's not always the way it is, and what really needs to happen for a duet to unfold is that you have got to perfect your own personal gift. That instrument, you've got to work on your instrument so you do it good solo, so you can then bring that to the relationship so you can make wonderful music together and have this beautiful duet. And isn't that nice? So, life gives us the opportunity to practice, for sure. And we get to see how far along we are and just see how the communication goes, because it's about honesty and it's about respect. And I just know that truly that Spirit gives one the opportunity to have that. And one of the examples that Greg uses in his book is about Elizabeth and Henry. And Elizabeth has just bought a new dress, and she put it on to go out to dinner, and she steps out of the closet and says, "Henry, do you like my new dress?" Boy, is that a loaded question, isn't it, guys? None of the women notice that. What a tough question that is for us to have to deal with. And you know, personally, my dad always taught me to answer that question, yes. Very nice. My mom taught me, even if Cameron Miranda asks you about her Tutti Frutti fruit dress hat, just make sure you say, "It's nice fruit you've got, Miranda." You know, it's how you tend to respond, which is so valuable. And Henry responded with, "You know, sweetheart, you're beautiful whatever you wear." I thought that was nice. But, you know, that's not what she was looking for. You know, she was looking for honesty here. And when you are in a real loving kind of relationship, it's not based upon what it is you have to say, because I am full with real love. It is, you know, when there is enough love, you know, the money and the appearance and those things is not really what is the significance of your relationship. And so she came back and said, "Henry, what do you think of this dress?" You know? He said, "Well, you know, there are some dresses that you're more attractive in." And she said, "Thank you." You know, she got it. It was not a statement on who she was and her attractiveness. It was a statement on a dress in which she was looking for. And when you are in that beautiful duet, you can be honest, and it is not usually going to be misconstrued. It may be misconstrued, and it may take a lot of guts to speak up in honesty, but that's what real love and real relationships are about. And I know the percentage of guys who can answer that question has got to be, I don't know, 90%, you know, who don't really feel comfortable. I don't know if it's 90%. Stephen Wright said 42.7% of the statistics are made up on the spot. So I just made that up. I don't know how many guys really can be honest with that kind of conversation. So true, true, true. But when you're put in that moment, time kind of expands. You notice, how do I answer? Where do I come from, you know, with this? And someone, you know, once said that, you know, the relevancy of time, or how long a minute is, depends on what side of the bathroom door you're on. You know, so it's this duet in life. It's just about trusting and realize it's a life commitment that we continue to work on, that we continue to expand with, that we continue to dance with. And sometimes we may forget, and we might get tired. And a lot of times in life, we're involved in aspects of our world that seem to not really have an end in sight with them. And they can get long, and we can get weary in a business, or get weary, you know, trying to raise some difficult children, or tired that this illness doesn't seem like it has an end, or the house that we're in. And as much as you love that house, and you have the greatest child in the world, and the career you love, sometimes fatigue sets in when you keep, when year after year, it just keeps going. And what you want to do is be kind to yourself and not give in to that fatigue. And if you are in one of those down places and in that temporary place of weariness and tiredness, it's not the time to make a lifelong decision. When you're down and in the trough, that's not when you make a life decision, because when you are in that place of problems, you don't see the possibilities. And when you're in that beautiful duet with life, with God, with beloved itself, you've got the ups and you've got the downs, and you've got those times that you're tired and you're depleted, and you've got the other times that you're up. And I'll tell you about those weary times. They don't usually happen at the beginning of a journey. When you're fresh, bring it on. It doesn't seem to happen then. It's when you are tired and you're vulnerable is when you get challenged. When all of a sudden you may not quite know how to answer that question in a loving, appropriate way, because I am exhausted here, and what comes out may not be the best. But you got to stick to it. You got to keep working with it. In Galatians, I think it's the 6th chapter, verse 9, it says, even when you're tired, stay with what you know is right, because the season for what is ripe will come if you don't faint. If you don't faint, those last two words, if you don't pass out, you don't quit, you don't get tired, you've got to stick with it. Isaiah said, wait on the Lord and you'll find the strength. Wait on the Lord, wait on the Spirit. That second wind, you got to be moving. That wait is with an expectation. It's not with a complaint. You've got to be moving. You've got to be attempting. You've got to be trying. You've got to stick in that. Even if you're tired and you're working on catching your breath, you've got to be there so the second wind can hit you. If you're jogging, or if you're surfing, or you're riding a bike or something, and you're getting tired and you're getting depleted, you've got to keep moving through that fatigue if you want a second wind to pick you up into a way in which you have found a new zest to be in that duet in your life, to dance with that perfect partner. You have got to keep going through those times that are depleting. And sometimes when you enter into experiences, if you were to take a look at the whole experience, it's like, that is going to be a long, long time before it ever comes about. That's exhausting before you ever get going. Yeah, it is. I've heard this story a number of times over the years. But a single mom is really giving it all to raise her kids. She gets her kids out of high school, into college. She gets them through. It is finally her time in life. And most recently, the story I heard, the single mom just had a couple more years before she retired. She was going to go travel. Was going to enter a new season that she had been waiting her whole life for. And because of circumstances, her grandchild came to live with her. Her grandchild all of a sudden became her charge. She became the guardian. She became the parent. And she was just saying, I don't know if I can do another 14 years with this toddler. I mean, I love my grandbaby. And I can't let her go to a foster home for 14 more years. And the thing with that, if you look at the 14 years, it will wipe you out. But if you have the strength today, you can make it through today, you'll find the strength tomorrow. But you can't have tomorrow's strength today. I mean, you might be able to get tomorrow's strength, but you're not getting next year's strength today. You've just got to find the strength today to deal with what is before you, because if you're looking at 14 years, that will exhaust you and tire you out just thinking about it. And I've been working on my new book on mysticism since the fall. And, if I were to take a look at writing a whole book, it is just staggering. But all of a sudden, I'm waking up at 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning excited to write. And the words don't seem to come through me as easily as some people. I hear about people writing books in a week or in 6 days, and it's crazy. And I struggle over every page. And as I begin to think of all the chapters that are left, and I am committed to get the first half of the book, the first 5 or 6 chapters to you for my mysticism class next month. And so I've got this motivation. And Lori Gertz, bless her heart, she is putting in countless hours trying to make some literary sense for this. So when you do get it next month, that say, hey, Christian, you got something here. But I want you to get the concept that if I am looking at creating all these pages and all the chapters, it's just, I'm not even going to sit down at that computer. I've been putting it off for years. but only as I'm willing to get down a few words and a few lines and a page here and a page there. I got a chapter. And that's the thing in life. If you want to enter into that beautiful duet, that beautiful dance with life, if you can begin to realize that it's about the steps or it's about the moves, it's about the joy. So often what happens is that we get caught up in thinking it is the accomplishment. It's the end of the 14 years. It is the book. We celebrate the success. We celebrate the beginning of the journey. What we tend to forget is that it is the middle where we spend most of the time, that we need to be celebrating the middle. You know, we don't celebrate the end step. We need to be celebrating every step that we are taking on this journey, because we are mostly on the journey, not the beginning and not the end. But we're so caught up looking at the map that we forget to look in the mirror and see ourselves. We're so busy trying to figure out our parts that we're forgetting to embrace our part in this life. And you are a part that brings to the duet or to the orchestra something that is valuable, but it has to be fully you. You've got to bring who you are, not who they want you to be, but who you are. That's what real love is, that I trust that which is inside of me enough to bring it to this relationship. Whether it's in business, whether it is intimacy, wherever it is, this is who I am. This is what you get. And when you're comfortable with that, you don't grow weary because you're not trying to be something you're not. You're just a transparency for that life force to show up through you, as you. So, with that, finally, chapter 7, Greg Bear says, okay, so now you can ask questions. Okay, here it is. We're going to let you, it's carrying all for 6 chapters, all about the happiness of another person without caring about you. Well, I'll tell you what Greg has to say. It's okay to ask the questions. But so great, here we go. I got my list of questions and my complaints, but still, no matter what, it is still about caring about the happiness of another person. Because if you're going to make these demands, and that all of a sudden you are having these expectations and they're not fulfilled, it's not worth losing your happiness over. Right? And if all of a sudden your requests have turned into demands and there's like a little manipulation going on there, a little control to get what it is I want, it's not freely being given. And if it's not coming and you're finding a little anger, anger is always wrong. Right? 3 of you get it. Okay. I'm giving you the heads up. If you want a loving relationship, anger is always wrong, okay? So if that's stirring in you, that is always wrong. You may get what you want, but you don't get the love. You don't get the duet, the beautiful duet. The duet is about creating the magic and the moves and the sounds and the melody together. And so as you begin to put your requests out there, you've got to drop the sense of expectations, because there's a difference between a request and an expectation. Okay? It's good to put it out what it is you want, and the other person can respond or not respond, but if you're full with love, then nothing else really matters. And so they yes or they no, and they say no, you may have superficial disappointment, but it doesn't last, because what matters is the love within the relationship. Also, what's important in terms of asking and requesting is being honest, being clear. Clear is a big one. At least, I know it's for myself, because I often hope that Callie's a mind reader and gets what I'm inferring in my request. I was getting dressed. This is actually a very often happening in our house, and she's not here, so I can share it. Anyway, I'm in there, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to wear. And so I'm making a lot of noise, so she recognizes I'm in there, so she'll come in and help me. I mean, that's what she does professionally. She dresses and undresses people in their closets. The least she can do is help me out. And she doesn't show up, and so I finally step out of the closet wearing what it is I pick. And she looks at me with that look. It's like, really? Like, fashion citation going on here for sure. And it's like, well, you could have come in and helped me, She said, you want to help? You could have asked. And it's like, wow. We got to be clear. You're not a mind reader. How often do we want our partner or someone to get what it is I'm thinking? Actually, you love me enough so you can feel what it is I want without me telling you. I want you to prove your love so you can guess what it is I want going on in my life. If you don't get it, I'm upset. It's your fault. You're to blame. No. So anyway, so you want to be honest, you want to be truthful, and if you make a request and the person agrees, then there's a promise there. And you have a right to expect that promise to be fulfilled. And if that promise or that agreement is not fulfilled, you've got a choice. You can be, or it's okay, let me be truthful about how I feel. You made this promise and it didn't come out. You get to choose whether I'm going to stir up that pot a little bit more because you didn't honor what it said you would do, or, you know what, I'm going to, be honest, and we'll move forward and create again. And another thing about that, it's probably goes without saying, but in this relationship with the honesty and promises, following through, not following, don't keep score. Never keep score. That's never a good thing. Keeping score about, no, just don't keep score. That one just doesn't work. So Nora Jones, a wonderful singer of our era, she said that if you don't ask, the answer is always no. Exactly. She said, if you don't step forward, you're always going to be in the same spot. You've got to take the initiative. And as you do in life, you have the difficulties. You have that which wears you down, the tired, or whatever that is. I mean, Job's the classic example of the difficulties. And what God finally said to Job is that there will be an end of your difficulties. See, Spirit says there's a deadline to the difficulties. And when I say Spirit, I'm not talking about anything outside. That's an anthropomorphic kind of mythological. There's nothing outside. It is this life force that is moving through you that says there's an end date to your difficulties. Are you struggling with trying to get to the end of this commitment that you've got going on with a business deal or some kind of dynamic? Well, you know what? Spirit or life, and there's an end date here. You struggling with a health issue? You know what? It's got no match because there's an end date to that. Are you dealing with a challenge in somewhere in your life? I want you to get that there's an end date to that particular dynamic and struggle. That has been the promise. You may be in it. You may be getting weary, but you're also in this duet with the beloved, with life itself. You are that place, that vortex of the divine expression that is taking form in your life at the level of your consciousness. What you see is what's going on in your life, is what you're stepping into and what you're experiencing. And so what is going on, you get to put the spin on it, whether I'm going to grow from this or whether I am going to collapse from this and make it horrible and terrible. I just can't tell you what your choice is going to be, but you are that place of decision, of transformation. You are that one who gets to observe. We had a wonderful, wonderful, beloved, pillar icon at Seaside, David Beardsley, who made his transition a few weeks ago. He was here 5-7 days a week, just volunteering it, and we loved him dearly. He has a son, his oldest son, his name is David also, who's been extremely ill for years. I mean, organ challenges and just in pain and uncomfortable in an unhealthy body, and his dad loved him through this time. It was his son's journey. He was, always checking in. And what's interesting is his son this week made his transition and moved on. And I just see that as a beautiful love story. I see that as a beautiful duet. Dad saying, okay, you can step over now. And whether that is the way it is or not, what is beautiful is to notice the beauty, is the love, is to expand your awareness of what is possible in the world in which we walk and in the world in which we move. Because we're living in a realm of infinite possibilities. Marianne Williamson, who we all know is a friend of the New Thought movement, she's running for Congress in District 33, which is LA, Westwood, Brentwood. And she last year it is exciting. She threw her name in the hat last year, which was kind of silly because she was going up against Congressman Henry Waxman, who's been there for 40 years, his district, well loved, but she did anyways. And just last month, Henry Waxman, after 4 decades, said, "I'm stepping away," and she has now stepped into the lead for that. But I share her name not for that, because she had a quote I wanted to share, and I got sidetracked. But she said that. And she's just this fiery little fireball. She said, "I'm not so depressed about that gap between me and someone like Jesus. I'm more impressed with the gap between me and who I used to be." Yeah, if you stop to think about that in your life, where you are now as compared to where you were a decade ago or last year, you know, in your ability to be honest in your communication, in your ability to love in a relationship, to be present and available for that life to show up in your world, that is significant and that makes a difference. Because I'll tell you what, we're going to be facing challenges in our life. We're going to face mountains in our world. And what I've noticed about mountains, if you wait, they don't get smaller. It doesn't. If anything, they grow in magnitude when I wasn't looking. You know, I like what Jerry Steinfeld said. He said, sometimes the road less traveled, well, there's a reason it was less traveled. And so, within our relationships, there will always be opportunities to stretch and grow and to practice the spiritual principles of telling the truth and being honest and integrity and all that. And I notice, you know, with my son Trevor, he and I sometimes have a dynamic of who gets to watch what on TV. I guess it's just a father and son thing. Who gets the TV clicker is in control of our dining, our den. Anyway, but what is also I've come to get is that we could have a fiery exchange, but we're so filled with love that just because I may have made a mistake in the communication on how my position is on things, or just because in our life sometimes there is an omission in expressing our love, when there is enough love, I want us to get in relationships. There will be conflicts with scheduling. There will be conflicts in preferences. There will be conflicts in all sorts of dynamics. And when there is enough love, you are not looking for mistakes or omissions. You forgot this special day in my present. You know, you are not looking for mistakes to validate that you don't love me, because you're not coming from a place of insecurity and a sense of not enough. You are filled up and you are able to love, and you are not just caught up with a few wonders. You know, little kids, they don't see only 7 wonders in the world. They see 7 million wonders of this world in which we live in. We are filled in a world that is filled with wonder. We are in a world that is filled with love. We're in a world that is filled with joy, and you get to focus in on the ones that are that have been the omission, that have been forgotten, or you can choose to see what is being offered to you. Because you know what? We are in this duet, and it is not about the steps that you make, because you have got the moves, and the moves that you have got is going to bring love into this world for us all. God bless us as we do this together and make a difference. Hey, let's keep it going as we bring Allison back to the stage.
What a perfect segue for the song I chose. Yeah. Wow. Talking about the eyes of a child and how they see not 7 wonders, but 7,000 million, billion wonders, that we could all have the eyes of a child and the power of imagination. And I'd like to sing about that.
Come with me and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look and you'll see into your imagination. We begin with the Spirit, traveling through the world of my creation. What we find will defy explanation. There is no life I know that compares with pure imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly wish to be.
In a world of pure imagination, take a look and you'll see into my imagination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling through the world of my creation. What we find will defy explanation. If you wanna feel paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do it. Wanna change the world, there's nothing to it. There is no life I know that compares with pure imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly wish to be.
As Allison Adams Tucker, thank you. How beautiful. That is just, I just love that song. And I think I've shared with you the story before with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, that original with Gene Wilder who sang that song. I grew up in Hollywood and I used to do some work, and it was either that kid or me to be Charlie in the movie. So had I been Charlie, I'm sure my life would have been different. And as I look back, there's nothing different that I would want in my life. I love this moment and where I am, and every step of my path has led me here to be with you. So, but it still conjures up memories. Anyway, hey, this is the time of our service where we have the opportunity to unite together in our givingness, the sharing of our financial support, and know that you become that place through which that life force moves, that as you give, it comes back. It's not why you give it. It's rather, it's the activity of your consciousness. It is a statement of your consciousness that you truly believe that there is a life force that is beyond the business, that is beyond employer, that this spirit is all things and shows up through the different channels. And so as you remember to put spirit first, and just with a sense of gratitude and appreciation, what you do is you open yourself up to spirit showing up first in your life in those areas that are relevant and real and right for you. And you can't outgive life, you can't outgive spirit. It's just the way it is. And so your gift goes to help us continue to do what it is we do here, and to pay the bills and to keep things going and to move it through time on to the next generation. So it's an important part for you, for Seaside, that we stop and pause in this moment and become part of this flow. And so I'd like to invite our ushers to come forward at this time and say thank you to this wonderful green crew. Happy St. Patty's Day, everyone. You know, it's just about chasing the snakes out of our world, right? And the challenges, those false beliefs, and yeah, I'll save that message for next year. I'll be back, you know, same time next year. But anyway, I share this prayer of gratitude with the most generous of spiritual communities as we do take this gift from our heart and our soul, and know that it truly is a statement of our belief in this inexhaustible source that is moving through each and every one of us at the level in which we have chosen to play in life. For truly there we are dealing with that which is infinite, with that which is beyond bounds, and it shows up in our world at the level in which we have chosen to play and to be and to express. And so in this moment, I know that as each of us sends forth this which is blessed to our life, it moves forth bringing blessings to ever more and more people as it ripples out into the world. So I say thank you, Father, Mother, God, for this opportunity to pause and to remember the true source in all things of my very life. And I send this forth knowing all of my life is blessed. And so it is. Amen. And together, you'll find this affirmation of abundance, and let's say it together, which is divine, it's Spirit. That was last of us. So, anyway, hey, Spirit continues to bless my world. Gratefully, I live as the giving expression of Spirit, opening the floodgates of the affluent flow of greater good as my life now. Guys, sound great. Beautiful. As I stand before this bounty, this wonderful expression of love, I truly know that it is coming from the heart and soul of all that is given so freely, without the strings, just with a sense of being in that flow, with a gratitude for the recognition of life itself and how it expresses through each and every one. For this bountiful gift that comes from the wellspring of good that moves through each and every one of us, and I know collectively it makes a profound impression here at Seaside. It is received in love, it is taken care of in good stewardship and set forth back into action, knowing that it continues to bring the joy and blessings to all those it continues to come in contact. It's a sense of gratitude and appreciation to be able to be part of that flow, and so it is. Amen. All right, that's good. This is Valerie Rodriguez, one of your board members. Fabulous, guys. Great job. Way to tear it up. Glad you made it back from last night's party. Allison, what a joy to have you finally arrive on the stage of Seaside. Reverend Fran, always a blessing. Thank you for our happy song. Pharrell had nothing on you. Reverend Tammy, it's a joy always on Sunday mornings to be with you. Giving us sound today is Matthew. Giving us the visual is Marv, and know that there's CDs available right after the service if you want to pick one up. And thank you to Tim, who is live streaming this to the world. I know it is greatly appreciated. And thank you for that. And hello to our home viewers. And flowers today are absolutely gorgeous. We have Rick Merica and Robin Holt, who Kelly and I spent the weekend with, along with 100 of their favorite friends last night. And on Friday, they had a surprise wedding and made it legal. So congratulations for sharing your love. Thank you for the flowers. And it was just beautiful to share that day with you. Oh, hey guys.
Hello, it's Christian's birthday. Can we all stand up and sing happy birthday?
Oh, I have to stand? No, no.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Christian, happy birthday to you.
Hey, I like that. Woo! All right. You want to help me? Blow it out. Wish for everybody's good here. That's kind of our job when we're up here. Go. Oh, hey! Thank you. All right. Hey, meet us outside. We're going to do cake as soon as I'm done announcing and praying us out of here. So I'll get through it quickly so you can sit down. Thank you for standing. I just how beautiful to be able to share another birthday with all of you. And gosh, we've done 20 of them together or more. So I am just deeply touched and feel the love in your heart and caring and for being remembered. So there's a lot of birthdays around here. So what's going on? We got lunch going on the inside. I see Richard selling the Real Love tickets. It's a fabulous weekend here at Seaside next month. We've got cake going on outside. As soon as I'm done here, we got a men's group on Saturday. We got Nandini today doing her science and spirituality conversation, and a wonderful physicist who is able to speak so we can understand it. Next Sunday, we have got the drumming circle, but what I'm going to do is pray so we can start eating and celebrating. And so I invite any of the religious science practitioners to stand. These are the spiritual counselors of our community, the ones that take the prayer requests out of the prayer request chest and pray on them daily, that just send it forth into that divine vibration that all of us are able to step into now. I invite you to feel that love, that sense of life, that first cause, that's joy, that laughter, the song, the children. There is something more than can be articulated or put into words. That is life itself, and that is what brings forth the healing in our life. It is not because I am directing the intelligence that guides the universe, but it's because I am being receptive to that infinite wisdom that guides the cosmos. That is the same intelligence that moves through each and every one of us right here, right now. You can call it what you will or what you want, but it is a matter of feeling and sensing that ineffable, indescribable expression of life itself. For there lies the wisdom that brings forth all those healing stories that we know. And so every prayer request put in our prayer request chest, I know is now answered. A prayer request I got this morning from one of our sister communities in the Ukraine, asking for our prayers for the vote that's going on in Crimea today. I know right now, as that request has been put out, that there is divine right action, that there is divine guidance, that there is divine order, bringing forth the greater expression of the whole. For that wisdom that guides it all is guiding right there, right now. Also for our beloved Ted, got his name, Duncan. A prayer request for all the centers for him right now. Big time prayers have been requested and they are being honored. For Ishmael Bernendez, who's made his transition this week, that he moves on with those wonderful currents of eternality, able to express his life as ever before. But for his son who is left behind, there is a surrounding of a love and a healing and a transformation and a power that lifts him to a place of peace beyond any kind of understanding. For truly there's something going good on right here at Seaside. There is a power that is emanating from this holy ground. There is a light, there is a trust, there is a belief, there is a self-empowerment where people are taking back that inner power that lies within each and every one of us and taking it to the world and being those spiritual leaders with a positive attitude and an affirmative sense of being there. Each of us is being that light. There's good that's going on in this world, and it's starting with each and every one of us. And as that power flows, as that life flows, I know it heals and transforms anything in our individual world. For the body comes back into a place of balance. The world of our affairs comes back into a balance. As we say yes to that life force, there is a healing that goes on within a relationship, and the intimacy becomes more wonderful and powerful than ever before. For truly each of us becomes that divine vortex for life itself to be expressed in our world through our filters. And I am grateful to recognize that there is something good that's happening. And I say yes, and I say thank you, and I live with a sense of appreciation, not to anyone or anything outside. It is just standing in a sense of awe and gratitude for the good that is happening in this moment for each and every one. And so I let go. I trust and I believe in the divine right action, not my action, but the divine right action that has its way in our individual lives. And so it is. Amen.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I did not know the love of God who was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged and trying to make it through just one more day, you gotta let it go, let it all go. And this is what we have to say. Come on, I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. You know there's no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. You know that I release. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. And there's no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Seaside, y'all take one. And there's no more struggle, no more strife. Faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
And our affirmation for the week is, I love my dance through life. Together, I love my dance through life. Touch your heart and say that again. I love my dance through life. Like you mean it. One more time. I love my dance through life. And our song of grace. Remember to pick up your book.
I'm living in love. I'm living in peace. I'm living my life for what I believe. Through joys and through fears, In this world I walk, God's grace shines on me, and it shines on us all. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We're living in love. We're living in peace. United we stand as one family. We honor all truth as together we walk. God's grace moves through me. Well, it moves through us all. We are living in grace.